Hi, my name is Alessandro Gangelosi, and that's a video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for Max Cookie. In this tutorial, we have to continue working on the VFX series we started some weeks ago. And on the last part, we created the basic setup to create all the film effects and basic particles that it is driving the film effects. Actually, the setup was done just for every single, just for 1, 2, maybe 3 simulation, and you know that the actual result is something like that. Obviously, we have not worked on the setup for the look of the smoke, but you see that's the basic result. So what I like to do this time is to work directly just on a single gun shot, and creating all the other details as the stuffs like the debris and tune the smoke. So let's stop the rendering. Okay, so we can concentrate just on one of it. So we can pick this one and the wall and this one and this one and this one and also this one and isolate. Okay, and we can change the illumination, so we can hide the daylight system, or maybe we can stay with this one for the moment. It's not a problem. Let's go in film effects and let's see the look for the smoke. Okay, so I'd like to change the illumination just a little bit later, and for the moment I'd like to go there and particle flow source, and that's this one, and let's see what happened. And you see that's our simulation. So I'd like to have the sphere must be just a little bit little as 3, and we can try to see what happened in this way, but I'd like to see how it works. So let's hide if we need it the particle system, but we have it, it's not a problem. So that's this one. Okay, and you see the particles. So I like to change just a little bit the movement and the position, and we have just to go there and work on this one. Okay, less divergence, so something like that. Bang. Okay, let's stop it and let's go there, let's close, and now I'll try to make the simulation. So let's go in the simulation panel for the film effects object, and you see that we have the table, the wavelet. Let's use the default cache and see mode default, and we can open the preview and let's simulate just to see if it is better, and I think yes. Let's wait to finalize all the frames, and then we will go for the wavelet, then we'll change the look and add the debris. So later you can do the same thing we do on the single particle system for all the others. Okay, let's see what happened, and you see that's the bank. Okay, we can try maybe just to speed up the speed for the particles. Let's go for 12, for example, and let's go in the simulation, and I like to add also a little bit of turbulence. Let's try with 2, and let's see what happens. Now the speed is too much. We need a little bit less speed. So let's go back to maybe 8. Let's try again. Okay, let's check the turbulence, and we can try having more turbulence. Let's try in this way, so we can wait for all the frames simulated, and then we can go in the wavelet to have a different look with more detail. So you see it's really fast. We have to simulate all the frames, or a lot of frames, because the wavelet is able to create more detail also where it seems we have no more smoke for some frames. So it's better to simulate more frames than the visualization you can have there. Let's wait. Okay, let's go at the beginning, and let's go there, and wavelet, and let's simulate the wavelet turbulence. Okay, it should be good, I think. Obviously you can tweak the parameters and find a different look or a better look, but for the moment I think it can be a good basic setup, and we can work with it. Okay, let's use the wavelet cache, and that's our bank. Okay, something like that can be not bad. Let's close, and let's save, and then I like to find the right look for the smoke, and let's see all the parameters we have at the moment. Okay, let's see the illumination. We have this omni light, and let's hide the light, and that's this one. So I'd like to have for the moment a really simple illumination setup to work more on the other stuffs. So let's go there, let's select, let's see if the anide is okay. Let's go there, and let's select the daylight, and we can set to off. Then we can go in the exposure control, and we can remove for the moment the environmental map. and the exposure, and then let's go there and let's say 1. So let's check the rendering at this frame. It's the wrong point of view, and we can go for having no final gather. Okay, so from there you see that's our smoke. Okay, let's stop it. And let's check. Let's go near to have a better visibility of what happened. Okay, you see that's the point where we have the breaking. Okay, and we have these pieces going all the way, and we can, for example, create a piece by hand. So let's save. So I'd like to create a pieces for the debris, and to create it we can create a really simple mesh. We can add some detail, and then also on the other side. Okay, then we can go there and let's use a noise fractal. That's the pieces, and also there. Okay, and let's start adding strength. You see I'm trying to create a broken, okay, something like that. It can be a really simple way to create a debris. So we can select this particle flow, and that's the PF source 001, and then you see that we have the shape cube, and we can go for a shape instance, and we can choose this one. Okay, let's go on the perspective at full screen, and you see that the pieces are really big, but it's not a problem, we can change it. So let's open again the PF source, and you see that we have there the scaling, and we can make it more little, and we can make some variation. So you see we have really different pieces. Okay, something like that. Okay, and you see that we have the pieces just falling, but we have no rotation due to the impact force. So I'd like to have the spin, so we can have the spin there. Okay, and we can make it, this one can be turned at 12. But we have the force gravity there, so we have to remove this one, copy and paste. So we need a different force. So let's make copy and paste, and we can connect this one there. Okay, so we have our own force node, and let's go for geometry, and you see that we have the right geometry there. Okay, then we can copy the spin there. So you see it is spinning. We can make more variation, let's say 150, and we can say speed space follow. In this case, you see that we are following the rotation of the direction of the single particle. So maybe it is better to give a random rotation, so we can go there, back to the random, and say that we like to have rotation of 1200, and let's say 550, 450, and that's our speed. Okay, let's see it just a little bit, okay. And then we have the impact or the ground, so we need, let's save again, we need a space warp, deflector, and let's go for deflector, and we have the deflector as the ground. Then back on the particle flow, and we have it there. We have to make a cleaner design there, so let's move this one there. Okay, so we have a collision, and let's use the collision there, and we can move it there, and the collision will move the particles to the display, and the collision will be with the add by list, the deflector, and we'll have a bounces. So let's see what happened. Okay, you see that we have the bounces there for the particles, and that's not so good. So let's go there in the particles again, and let's say that we have again a force, the same, so copy and paste instance, and let's move it there. Okay, so you will see that the particles are falling down, bouncing, and then falling down again. So the first thing we have to say is that after the bounces we have the forces, and then we need that the particles will stay on the ground. So we'll have again a collision with the same the deflector, and we'll have a stop. So let's see what happened. Okay, the particle stays on the ground. Okay, now I'd like to say to the pieces, maybe we can say there, okay, geometry, and then back there, geometry. Okay, so we see the pieces falling, then bouncing, and then falling, and you see that we have rotation over the ground, so we have to fix it, but it's not a problem. Okay, so we have the pieces falling, and then we have to fix the collision, and we can go there, select the deflector, and we can start to have less bounces. So let's see what happened. Okay, then we like to have 75% of variation, so you see it's more realistic. Okay, and then we like to have 70% of chaos. Okay, and then we like to have a really heavy friction. Let's try with 50%. Okay, you see we have not so much sliding over the ground. Okay, then our problem is that the particles are still spinning on the ground. Okay, let's go there and let's save. We have to go back inside the particle flow, and then we have to control the animation there, and and we have the spinning, so we can use for example, okay, we can use for example a spin gain, and we'll say we have no spinning, 0 degree. Let's check to see what happened. Okay, and you see that we are stopping the particles. Okay, now we need a material, a right shader for the particles, and we can stay for example with a simple shader. We no need of mapping, so we can make a copy and we can call it debris, and we can remove the bumping, it's not a problem. We can go there in the map. Let's check it. Okay, we need something like this, and we can say we get a color like this one, so something around 150, 140 and 130. Okay, so let's remove the map. We not use it. We need a color, and obviously now we are using a different color scheme, so we can go there to have the same representation. We can use a really simple way, an RGB multiplier, sorry, an RGB tint. Okay, discard all map, so we'll use just a color, and we'll use there 0, so we have a black. We copy the black also there, and then on the B color, let's try with 150, 140 and 130. So a color similar to the wall. Let's close, and we can select the again there, and we say that we have a material. So material static, and let's put it there because we like to have the same material for all the event. And let's move it, and we can copy using the drag and drop the material there as an instance, so we can control the shaders there, and you see that we have the material over the texture. Now we'll try to render it, and let's check there. Okay, let's see what happened. And thinking also that there is another really simple way to pick the material. So let's stop just for a moment the rendering. Okay, it is finished. And let's go inside the particle flow. Okay, and we say yes there, and you see that we have the acquire mapping and acquire material. So the problem is that we have a material there, and then we have another material there. So let's try to remove the acquired material. Let's open rendering, and let's render just this area, and render again. So you see that now we have the right shader over the pieces, the debris. Another way you can follow to have the right material, you can select the piece we created at the beginning. You can go in the material editor, apply this shader, the debris shader, to the debris mesh we created, And then when you are inside when you are inside particle flow, you don't need to use this one, so you can turn off. I selected this one, right mouse button, you see, and then we have the possibility to turn on or off. And then there inside the shape instance, you have to say acquire material. So let's close and let's try to render again. Okay, and it's not working perfectly because we have to go there and okay, pick this one. Let's render again. Okay, now we are sure that we are using the right material. So you see we are using different way to use one shader or another material, and you can give it directly to the project inside the particle flow, or you can give it to the the instanced mesh, you use it for the particles. So that's just a different workflow, but the result is always the same. Now we have, I prefer for the moment to have this one, so this one set to on, and there no acquire material. Okay, let's save. So you see we have our basic setup for the debris. We can, for example, have another debris particle flow that will create a different effects. So let's go in the particle flow, and we need more space, so let's for the moment let's move the other stuffs. So I'd zoom it and display, so okay, to everything, and I'd like to pick, and I have to move also this node. Okay, so let's go there, zoom tool, and we have to zoom this area. Okay, and then again let's remove the zoom tool. Okay, we need a copy of this one, so let's copy, and there let's paste. Okay, we can connect, and let's see what happened. So let's scale it, and there for the moment I like to have a visualization with lines so we can see it, and let's use a different color, something like a blue, so we can see it in a better way. And we have to, so I can go there, and I like to change how the particles will move, and I like to have more divergence, less speed, more divergence gain, maybe just a little bit less. Okay, let's use the geometry, and you see that we have the debris, and I say to have the spinning, so spin, and the spinning will be the space follow, and let's say that will be really fast, 1000 and 500 as variation. So we have these particles you see flying away there, but I like to have more speed, so let's go for 100. and 35, and more particles. Let's try 200, and the scale will be different, so let's go for 7%, and let's try to have less variation, so 35, and let's go for 500, maybe 1000. Okay, so you see a lot of particles. So when the gun shot over the wall, you see we have some particles flying away there, and the others follow there. But we need then to have also the others follow over the ground. So when the time is right, we have to go with the same way as the others. So we have to check if everything is okay. Maybe I like to have a different timing there, so let's try with 8. So we'll have more, see, maybe more. I'd like to have more force to move for the last particles and less for the first. Okay, something like that. You see. And I like to have the same result. You see. Okay, all the pieces falling on the ground. Maybe we can have just a little bit bigger shape there. Let's try with, okay, maybe 20, so we can see it better. So you see the gun shot, and then the pieces over the ground, and everything is falling down, and we have also the smoke. So let's close and let's save. So that's our actual result. We can zoom just a little bit. Okay. Let's see, for example, there, which is the result. And let's go there. And let's say we can render. I'd like just to remove a little bit of bump from the wall to be faster in rendering. So minus 0.5 and render. And let's see what happened. You see it's faster now to be rendered. Maybe we can have more visualization for the smoke, the dust. So let's select the Omni, and let's say that we have the atmosphere shadows, and then back there, and let's see how it looks now. Okay, see we have the shadows also over the ground and on the wall. Obviously we have to fix some stuffs, and you see that we have no more shadows out of there, so we can, to have a better look, we can remove this one, select this two, and move it there, so we have the right look for the shadows. Let's go there, and that's the beginning. And let's try a rendering from this frame. And you see that's the actual result. We can have more alpha for the smoke. So let's close this one. Let's select VFX. Let's go there. Rendering. I'm sorry, I was on rendering. Let's say opacity 1. And back in the rendering viewport. And let's render this area. Okay, the smoke is more visible. Okay, let's go back there in the rendering, and we can change the ambient to something more similar to a sky. Maybe now it's too much. We have just to check if it can be okay, and I think it can be okay. Okay, let's close, and we have too much shadows there, so we can imagine that adding another omni just to have a really simple basic lighting can be enough. Or maybe let's see what happens if we use a skylight. Let's go there, and let's say indirect illumination, and let's render. Okay, you see we have this skylight that give us the possibility to have less shadows there, and maybe we can work more now on the smoke, and you can tune also the other kind of lighting problems. Let's save. Sorry. But you see, we can you can adjust the color for the smoke, and you can adjust also the alpha to have it more or less dense, and you can add more detail in the simulation to have a better look. Let's see, for example, later what we have there. Because you see, for example, there the smoke is better because it's less visible, so you can tune it just a little bit to have the right look. So the stuffs we done on this one can be done on all the other one, and you can obtain the final result just in this really simple way. So for the moment that's all, and I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.